When Panasonic announced the Lumix GH7, one of the surprise was that the camera can output in Arri Log output. Believe it or not, this is a secret that even all of us reviewers didn't know until it was publicly announced. That's why none of the initial reviews video on YouTube has talked about it at all. If you purchase the optional upgrade key DMW SFU3A, then you can add the option to have ARRI LogC3 output to your Panasonic Lumix GH7 or the Lumix GH6. Yes, this upgrade key can unlock ARRI LogC3 output on the GH6 as well, but as usual, one upgrade key is for one camera only, so if you have a GH6 and a GH7, then you will need to buy two of these upgrade keys if you want to unlock the ARRI Log output for both of your cameras. Now, depending on who you are and what you do, for example, if you are someone like me who just mostly shooting video yourself and post it on YouTube, then this ARRI Log output may not mean too much to you. But for some users who does high-end video production or looking at doing that, then this could be a huge thing for you. Okay, let me explain what ARRI LogC3 output is. I will also talk about what it isn't and clarify some misconceptions that I have heard. So, who is ARRI or what is ARRI? ARRI is one of the biggest brands for high-end cinema cameras. ARRI cinema cameras are used in a lot of big-budget Hollywood movies and big-budget TV series. Actually, if you look at the movies that has won or nominated Oscar over the last few years, majority of them were shot on ARRI cine cameras. I really mean majority of them, because if you add up the number of movies shot on other cine cameras from Sony, Red, Panavision, add them all together, the total number is still less than the number from ARRI. So if you work in movie industry or very high-end video production, ARRI is the brand name that you would be very familiar with. And it's not just their cameras, but also everything related. Their workflow, how to use their various tools in post-production, etc. ARRI LogC3 is one of ARRI's log output. The other ARRI Log is the ARRI LogC4, which is only used by ARRI's new $100,000 Alexa 35 camera. All the other ARRI cine cameras use the ARRI LogC3. ARRI Log allows us to capture video in a very wide gamut color space. The principle of ARRI LogC3 is very similar to Lumix Vlog, but the curves and mattes are a bit different. So now with the GH6 and GH7, the camera can now record video in 10-bit ARRI LogC3 output. Now have a look at these two videos, both shot with the GH7, one in Vlog and one in ARRI LogC3. They have the equivalent camera exposure settings. These two videos may look similar at first, but if you look at it a little bit closer, then you can see they look quite different. Just look at the yellow cardboard at the bottom of the scene and look at the highlight area near the top of the screen. You can see the brightness and color is a little bit different. And if I apply the default 709 conversion LUT in DaVinci Resolve, the result video looks similar but also not exactly the same. I heard some people say switching to ARRI LogC3 output would improve the image quality or the dynamic range. That is not really true. Now, while the output is definitely a little bit different, as we have just saw in the previous comparison video footage, with the equivalent exposure settings, Vlog can preserve a little bit more highlight details, but on the other hand, ARRI LogC3 has a little bit more shadow details. But the overall dynamic range seems to be very similar. Vlog can handle more dynamic range than GH7's sensor can output, so switching to a different log output or even doing raw recording in theory should not increase the dynamic range. In practice, there may be some minor differences due to the noise or other reasons, but the difference, if there is any, will be really small. To activate the ARRI LogC3 output on your GH6 or GH7, you need to first get the special code by purchasing the SFU3A upgrade key. Then go to Panasonic's website and follow the instructions there. Basically, it involves generating a special file from your camera, upload that to the server, then you get a file back, copy that to an SD card, and get your camera to use that file to unlock the ARRI Log output. It is quite a convoluted process, to be honest, but it is what it is. At least you only need to do that once. But remember, the upgrade key that you purchase can only be used on one camera, and you cannot transfer it to another camera once you have entered the code to the system. After you activated the upgrade, there's now a new ARRI Log picture profile you can choose, just like how you can select Vlog. On the GH7, the Vlog's base ISO is 500, but ARRI LogC3's base ISO is 320. So if ARRI LogC3 is really similar to Vlog, then it doesn't sound very special. Why would anyone want to pay money for the upgrade? Well, there are quite a few reasons. If you are a video production company and you already have a ARRI Cine camera as your main or A cam, then the GH6 or GH7 could be your B cam, and you can easily mix the footage from your GH camera with your ARRI Cine camera and process them using the exact same workflow. Now, not only the GH is much cheaper to buy compared to even the cheapest ARRI Cine cam by a big margin, the smaller size of the GH camera, especially once you put on a smaller micro four thirds lens on it, it means you could fit the GH camera to places that usually you couldn't do with a normal ARRI Cine camera. And since the GH7 has really good autofocus system and also very good in-body image stabilization system, so you could just handheld the camera if you want to do some run and gun style shooting. And if you need to capture some action shots, like you want to stick a camera outside a car, it's much easier to mount a small GH7. And if accident happens, I guess it's just much better and cheaper to crash the GH7 compared to the ARRI Cine camera. And for people who just start getting into filmmaking or looking at how to get a job in this industry, since the GH camera can output footage in ARRI LogC3, so you can just shoot with a GH camera and get familiar with the ARRI workflow, the color grading process. You can use the tools available from ARRI, like their LUT generator and different LUT packages, and understand how to use them to convert the footage to different output format or different type of displays, etc. I imagine it will make a lot of sense for film schools to get some GH7, as it's a much more affordable way to let their students to shoot some high quality video and get familiar with the ARRI workflow. You can also take advantage of the ARRI Log library available on their website. There are a total of 87 different looks available. You can download those LUT files from ARRI's website and then apply them to the ARRI LogC3 output video from the GH7 to get the different ARRI Log. You can even install these LUT files onto the GH7 and bake it into your video using GH7's real-time LUT feature, so you can get the ARRI colors straight out of camera. But beware that the real-time LUT feature is not available on the GH6. But with both the GH6 and the GH7, there is a ARRI Log View Assist feature that you can load a LUT to preview the result without baking it into the footage. So by using the ARRI LogC3 output, you can get the ARRI colors easily, either straight out of camera using the real-time LUT feature or by applying the ARRI LUT during post-processing. Now, you may wonder, the GH7 already has the real-time LUT feature, so isn't that we can just apply a LUT to convert from Vlog to ARRI Log and save the money? Or just apply a LUT during post-processing? Well, yes, technically you can do that, but it is quite difficult to get the result to look really close. On the other hand, Panasonic is working closely with ARRI and have the ARRI LogC3 output certified by ARRI, so we know that the output from the GH6 and GH7 will be really close to the output from an ARRI Cine camera. Also, matching the output yourself using LUT or whatever way is not easy. It would take a lot of time to do that. If you just do it for fun as a hobby, then yes, you could spend as much time you want to fine-tune and muck around all the changes and make them look as close as possible, and it doesn't really matter if it's slightly off. But if you work in the movie or high-end video industry, then you want something that just works and doesn't need to muck around too much. So what Lumix offers is a turnkey solution. $200 may sound like a lot of money for just another log output, but if it can save you just 1 or 2 hours time of your workflow, then I think it's already worth the money. So what do you guys think about the Arri Log output for the GH6 and GH7? Is it something that you are excited about? Is there something else about the Arri Log output that I haven't talked about in this video? And what else do you want to see from Panasonic in the future? Drop your comment below, share your thoughts with me, and let's have a chat in the comment section below.